Hi guys, welcome back to another very special episode of PBTV, and today we have brought out the EMG Seekins Precision SBR8. So there's multiple different length variants of this, so we've brought out the 9-inch and the 12-inch just to have a quick look at. We've built one of them up just so you can get a quick idea of what it's going to look like once it's in your hands, and then we're going to just go through it tip to boot, a little bit about the technology inside it, the settings it's got, all the different features and accessories that you can attach to it, and then we're going to take it on our range and show you this thing shooting, because it is a lot of fun and it's got some really nice, neat party tricks just to add some extra spice when you're at a game day and you want to maybe conserve ammo or run and gun a little bit. This thing can help you. So on my left here, we do have the 12-inch variant. They are identical from sort of receiver back, the stock, the CNCing is all absolutely stunning, but on this one we do have the 12-inch rail. The gas block is a little bit further out as well, but the sort of flash hider and that fit at the same point. It is just got, this one's got an extra 2 bits of M-lock, so there's 6 M-lock pieces on this compared to the shorter one that has 4, so plenty of real estate on both, but it's depending what you want. If you're wanting to go for that sort of longer, almost touching on that DMR length, with it being a 12-inch rail system, this is probably one to look at. Still has the fast deploy stock and the sort of skeletonized system at the back. But dropping that down, we are going to concentrate our video on the 9-inch variant. So as you can see, we've thrown the Raider from A-Tech on here and a Theta sort of Comp M4 style optic, just to show you how this thing can look once it's in your hands, but again, completely free to build these things how you see fit. Really like the aesthetics of these. I personally, when like the manual handling and sort of maneuvering with this, I wish the rail was just a little bit thinner, but it is really, really comfortable. But the receiver on this thing is where this thing absolutely shines above everything else. The sort of markings, the Seekin markings there, the deep etching, the CNCing, and all the sort of aesthetics, the angularity of it, the sort of aggression of this receiver is probably my favourite part of it. But we're going to start at the front and work our way back. But yeah, as you can see, we've put the Raider sort of blast A-Tech trace unit on there. I think it fits. You could just about in there see how much space you've got. So again, if you did even shorten the rail or you had the longer one on there, if you want to change your rail length, you can change it. The only thing you've got to be aware of is the actual inner barrels are different lengths. So with this one, the inner barrel does end here. If you did have the longer one, you've got a couple of inches extra in a barrel, so making sure you don't block off your sensor if you are putting a tracer unit on here. We have taken off the rather interesting Seekins flash hider, so it's almost like an asymmetric fork style system. Beautiful little ring on there, but yeah, really like the flash hider, but I thought with the size of the rail system, you can see that integrated suppression and little stubby tracer units are very, very effective on this thing. So coming back to the rail itself, as you can see here on the left-hand side, we've got 4 bits of M-lock. On the bottom and on the right-hand side, we've got M-lock. As what looks like QD points here, and on the bottom, they actually aren't. So we tried a couple of swivels on here, like bits that you get off the QD systems and slings and things. They do fit in the hole, but unfortunately the ball bearings don't go far enough in for them to lock back out again. So we're putting these down as for show, maybe a little bit of weight saving, but this thing is predominantly aluminium. There is a chunk of steel at the back that adds a bit of weight, but yeah, so no sling points on the front. We've got standard RIS across the top. If you want in any PEC boxes, lights, lasers on the top, there's plenty of space, and we do have iron sights at the front and the back. They are quick deploy, so there's no buttons or anything. It is all just detent, so you can push and pull all the way, and you can just deploy these as you see fit. But yeah, M-lock everywhere and RIS on the top makes it really sort of accessory-wise, you can just throw anything you want on this. And again, if you don't have direct M-lock attachments, you could just stick a bit of rail on the bottom and fit whatever you want. RIS carrying on across the top of the receiver. As you can see, we've fit the Comp M4 on the top. Slightly bridging, but it's airsoft, so it doesn't overly matter too much. And I think a big, fat, sort of chunky optic does suit this really nice, like an XTO or an XPS3 or something like that. Really does suit the aesthetics of this. Coming all the way back, you can see we do have an ambidextrous charging handle. Just even grabbing one side of it activates both. And if you do rack it back, the shell door does stay open. And then in here, you can see we've got the tan hop unit there and a rotary style hop that you can even just adjust with your finger. It is slightly detented, so you can just click it and there is a mark just there. So you can sort of swap this out quite easy between different weights of BB. If you go in CQB and you want to run 2.5s, and then you want to go outdoors and you want 2.83s, very easy to quickly adjust your hop and run whatever you want. On the other side, we do have a very big fat ping pong. Does lock it, does function, so it's really easy to achieve a good hop. You will see that there's a sort of aesthetic going along, even with the accessories here. So there's this cross-hatch knurling, and the selectors are very similar. Very, very big selectors that we have here. On the left-hand side, the one is slightly longer, so that when you are swapping and you do have your finger on the trigger, you don't interfere with the safety. On this, we do have safe, semi, and full auto. But there is one of the party tricks of G&G is if you're wanting a burst option, it is done through the triggers, but slightly differently. So on semi-auto, you will need a dry mag in here because of one of the bits of tech in here. So when you pull the trigger, it will fire a shot. Obviously, without a BB in it, you will need a dry mag. After 10 seconds, you can either watch the MOSFET in the back, or you can just wait for 10 seconds and release, and that will swap it into swap your full auto into 3-round burst. If you are wanting 5-round burst, you then simply do this 5 times. It's all in the instruction manual of how to do it, and then it will swap the full auto to 5-round burst. To do it back, you simply do the same. And again, if you're wanting your full auto back, pull the trigger, hold it for 10 seconds, watch for the light on the MOSFET, or simply wait long enough, and then you'll have your full auto back. So, reasonably easy to do. 10 seconds is a long time to sit and wait, so it's probably not something you're going to do in-game, maybe between games. But it just gives you that option, because this does only come with a 90-round G&G mag. Standard M4 mags do work, but if you're wanting the additional feature, which is a pseudo bolt lock, you will need the G&G mags. So, when this has a battery in it, in its current state, in semi-auto, this will not fire. It is done by a switch on the back of the magazine here. So when that switch is pressed, it is allowed to fire. And then when it comes all the way out and the feed comes all the way out, you can see that this little switch just pops out and pops in. So that is what is pressing the switch inside the receiver to turn the weapon on and off. So when you do plug a battery in and you go to test fire it and it doesn't work, just remember it has to have a loaded magazine, or like an EPM or a standard AEG magazine will just inherently press that switch and it will function. But we've had a lot of people, they'll plug a battery in it, pull the trigger, it's dead on arrival, and ring us up and just want to return their platform. Just be aware you do need a magazine in this thing. Speaking of batteries and loading it up, we do have the stock at the back. So it is a 2-position stock that you can go all the way back, and it will click in place if I do it careful enough. It can be, there we go. And it is easy enough to sort of simply press the little button at the back and the cap drops off, and you can fit a 11.1 Dean's battery in here. There's not many platforms that we recommend or say will only work on an 11.1, but in here there is another MOSFET as well. So you have the inline G&G MOSFET. So you're going to struggle to fit a massive battery in here, but with it having all that electronics, it will be very, very efficient. So something like a 600 milliamp, maybe an 800 if you can find one small enough, will go in the back. Once it's in, capped off, then you can run and gun to your heart's content. It can run standard M4 magazines, but if you're wanting that bolt lock, you will need to get the G&G 90 rounders. And again, 90 rounds is totally fine. It gives you a bit more realism and a bit more feel in-game. The one thing I will say about this thing, it is they have done a chunk of weight saving. They've used alley where you can. You've got a chunk of steel at the back, but it is reasonably heavy. So you're looking at sort of 2.2, 2.3 kilos unloaded without the bits that we've added. But it is rocking sort of 330 FPS out the box very comfortably, about 18 rounds a second. But yeah, really love how responsive it is. Having that 3-round, 5-round is really, really good. The 40mm, you can throw whatever device you want on the front of this, and if you had the longer one, you could quite easily electronically lock this out and run it as a DMI if you wanted to go for them power limits. But yeah, really like these things. The aesthetic is what's drawn me to these. I think the grey colour is really, really nice. It's not quite as bright as some of the other ones, that deep gunmetal grey. It's right up my alley, but it's the this cutting here, the deep engraving, just the entire aesthetic of this thing. I'd really like to throw this around at a CQB site and just have a lot of fun with it. So we are going to take this outside and show you some of its features. We'll show you the bolt lock functioning. We'll show you the 3-round burst, and we'll show you it at range at our outdoor site because the weather is beautiful and we want to go outside and enjoy it whilst we can. So if you join me in a moment, we'll go to our range and show you this thing hitting our outdoor range at full pelt. Join me in a minute. Hi guys, so we're outside, we've thrown a battery in it and we have some G&G 2.8 in the magazine. I have set it to 3-round burst just so you can see it, and then we will maybe flick the full auto back on just for a bit of a mag dump shortly. So we're at our longer outdoor range just so we can see what this thing is all about. I didn't mention in the video that this is only a 6.08, so this does not have a tight bore in it, but as we were zeroing, we found out that it could quite easily reach out to that 65 meter target. So if I get my eye in, we'll do some little semi-autos. And then the 3-round burst option. So again, if you're wanting to conserve ammo, obviously you only have 90 rounds in there and you don't want to be dumping the mag, the 3-round burst and the 5-round burst is really, really useful. So I will swap it back to the full auto version. So you press and hold the trigger. You do have to hold this for 10 seconds. It is strangely a very long time in airsoft, but you're either waiting for a beep like so, or a visual light on the MOSFET at the back. But what that allows you to do is dump, and as you can see the finger is still pulled and we do have a bolt lock system done by the button in there. So very, very impressive bit of kit, again available in 9, I think a 7, 9 and 12 inch, but there's 3 different variants of this and I think visually absolutely stunning in its setup. A lot of people aren't a fan of the collapsing stock, but if you can find the right battery for it, it is absolutely fine. You can run and gun this all day with the MOSFETs. It's going to be very, very efficient, and I think even with this Raider setup and the Comp M4, this is a lot of fun to wield, and being able to hit a target out the box without a tight bore, just raw with 2.8 BBs is something special. So upgradable, competent. You run this indoors, outdoors. I am very, very impressed. Let us know what you think down below. Comment if it's something that you think you'd like to run, what you do with it, what barrel you might think of putting in it, what changes you'd like on it. But let us know. But as always, thank you very much for watching. We're going to shoot some more BBs and I'll see you in a bit. Bye.